Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we delve into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Sammons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind successful startups, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're super excited to have Tobias Young, the founder and CEO of TNT Fit Pro Coaching, joining us. Tobias will be sharing more about his founding story and giving us a glimpse into plans for future growth. So let's jump straight into things. Tobias, very warm welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, thanks so much for the warm welcome yourself, Olivia. Glad to be here with you.
Amazing, amazing. So let's jump straight into it because I'm super excited to get down to the nuts and bolts of things. What was it that you was doing beforehand, and then what specific problem inspired you to start up TNT Pro Coaching?
Yeah, so I've been in the fitness industry for the last 26 years. So I started off as a personal trainer. Then I got into managing a lot of the big corporate gym chains and helping manage their personal training departments and then multiple locations. And after a while, I started to realize like I was burning myself out on both ends. Most of you guys know as a trainer, you're working long hours all day and you have a little block in the middle of the day, then you work in the evening time. So you miss time with your family, you miss time with your kids and all those things, and you don't really have much of a life. You don't want to take vacations because you're like, oh man, then I'm not going to get paid. Then 16 years ago, I started to actually do online training. So I
Nice.
started to help people. I was competing at the time. And so I was in a lot of the magazines. So people would write in and would be like, hey, Tobias, can you create a menu plan? Can you show me what workouts you do? And I started to do all this stuff for free. And I was like, just trying to help as many people as I could. And then I was like, man, I got to start getting paid for this. I'm going to start to charge. And then I built out an online training platform and I started to do like a website and things, but it wasn't really like robust. And I was missing a lot of the pieces. So then finally, I hired some coaches to be able to help me with the online business coaching side and really get things ramped up for my business. And that's when things really started to take off. And I was able to go full time into online training and be able to leave the gym job and just spend more time with my family and obviously financially make a lot more money. And so I was doing that for a significant amount of time. Like I said, 16 years ago is when I started. And then I bumped into a friend of mine and we both managed online, in some of the gyms. We were both area managers and we connected in Facebook and he's Tobias, dude, I train online trainers now and I help them grow their business online. I want to have you in as a guest. So he brought me in as a guest and I came in front of his coaches and I just showed some of the things that I was doing and what worked for me. And they were like, holy cow, like blown away. So he's, dude, we got to get you in here. Have you thought about doing business coaching and really helping the trainers be able to grow their business online? In the beginning, I was like, nah, I love doing training. I'm a fitness dude. And eventually he wheeled me in and I started to do both of them at the same time. So I was doing the business coaching and doing my online training. And I realized I love the business side of things and like helping the trainers grow their business. And then I just went full time into that. This was about 6 years ago. We created TNT Fit Pro Coaching. And eventually he started getting into some other type of ventures. And so I bought him out. And so it was all me. And then I started to just grow and scale the business. That's how TNT Fit Pro Coaching was formed.
Amazing. I appreciate the fact that you've gone from like fitness to business insights because I often find when we speak with guests or coaches, the kind of mindsets correlate with each other. I feel like when you've got that discipline and that motivation that's coming from being fit every day and going to the gym and turning up, it relates straight away back to business. So I was like that you touched on that. And then 16 years ago, now this may be me sounding or giving away my age, I feel like that might have been quite at the start of online coaching. That was probably what kicked off with Instagram and moving on from there. So what was that like being at the front of it all?
It was a whole different ball game. It wasn't like it didn't have all the apps and things that there is now, and the social media was completely different and things in there. So that's why I said it was hard. And I had to learn a lot of different type of strategies and really like the marketing aspect. I was always a top producer in all the gyms, every gym that I worked at, but going to the online world is different. And so I
Hmm.
had to learn how to generate leads online, how to do the sales process online, how to create an irresistible offer, how to create lead magnets, how to build the back end systems, how to create automation using a CRM. And I was like, but once I figured it out, I was like, things started becoming nice. And then it obviously brings a whole new lifestyle and a lot more flexibility and freedoms than without having all those things. So yeah, it was a whole different ball game. And once COVID hit, then everybody had to pivot online because before it was like hard because I was like trying to get clients to want to do online training and then once COVID hit, they needed an online trainer. So it made it all easy. And that's when everybody flooded in and wanted to start getting help to grow their business online too.
Definitely. So COVID had a massive impact on that. I think like the whole world, literally the whole world went remote, but half of it stayed there. And I think for the better, it's certain cases in coaching online.
Yeah.
It's a big game changer. So let's dive into the business a little bit. So what does the business look like now and how are you going about acquiring your customers?
Yeah, so the business now is it's called TNT Fit Pro Coaching. I have a couple different type of offers and programs. My main core program is called the Elite Level Coaches. It's a 6 month mentorship where we work together, we jam, and I have a very unique 9 box framework. It's 9 different steps, and we build out a 6 figure business with the coaches inside there. It's taking them
Cool.
from the bullseye avatar, narrowing down their messaging, their marketing, creating authority with the authority builder stage. I'm not sure if you want all the steps in there, but
Okay.
and
I
then
want
that's through a combination of email marketing, social media strategies, community building. And then we build out revamp the whole social media and build out their whole strategy. So that way they get incoming leads every single day. Then we build out the lead magnet system to be able to draw more people in so we can use
to
email marketing as well. The fifth phase is creating an irresistible offer. So that way you start standing out from the other coaches and you're not getting
100%.
commoditized. You can charge more and get 10 times better clients. Then we build out the whole sales process called the enrollment mastery phase. Next is building out the signature program. So all the deliverables with the online training program, that looks like then creating automations through the CRM to be able to streamline your efforts and free up more of your time, becoming the CEO of the biz. And then finally is the hyper growth stage. And that's where we can put a team underneath you to help you grow and continue to scale. So it's like a 9 step process that we build out. That's the main thing. And I have a shorter online accelerator, which is like a 6 week mini version of everything in there too. But that's like the foundations.
Cool.
And then we just released the done for you where we literally make it stupid easy to succeed when we build out all the automations and the CRM and stuff.
Awesome. So you've got the three offers on the package. I'm assuming kind of higher ticket, mid-range, and then lower ticket offer coming through.
Correct. Yes. Uh-huh.
Awesome. And so what would be your ideal customer? Person you go for?
Yeah, ideal clients are going to be coaches that are already online training. There's two versions, right? So there's going to be the online trainers that have been trying everything and they're just not able to break past that 10K, or maybe they're stuck around 10,000 a month and man, I want to continue to grow. I want to hit 20, I want to hit 30, I want to scale. But they're lacking systems, they're lacking a team, they're lacking a CRM, they're just like literally doing everything and burning themselves out. That's my ideal fit. And then I also help gym owners that want to actually add the online component, online training to their gyms. And then the third is actually helping the trainers that are just starting off and they're like, hey, I'm training in person, but I'm getting burnout and I want to go online and transition over. So it's like those three avatars are my ideal clients.
Awesome. And what have you found is like the best way to go about acquiring your customers specifically? Where are you implementing your marketing and strategies to help you grow a TNT product?
Yeah, and for the coaches, I usually want them to be able to do everything organically. Once they get to about 10,000, then they can start to do some other channels. But usually in the beginning, until they're hitting 10K a month, they're strapped financially, right? Where they don't have the amount of money to be able to invest in ad spend and be able to split test and be able to put 5,000 into ads. And if it doesn't work, it's not a big deal. Like to them, that's a huge deal, right? It's help them organically with social media strategies. And then once they start hitting 10K, then it's building a team underneath them to take some of the things off the plate that they don't enjoy doing. So that might be doing the tech work, the funnel building, automations, email sequencing, appointment setters, all that type of lead gen specialty. And then once they get that down, and then throwing fuel on the fire to the offers that are working with paid advertising. So then you can just scale what's working, do a little split test, optimize. And obviously, there's always going to be a little bit of tweaking in there, and then being able to scale their offers up that way.
Cool. And do you work the same process for yourself as what
Yep,
you're teaching others? Amazing.
absolutely. Yep, that's how I did it. Now I'm doing
And
the same.
I love it. And in terms of that, I'm assuming you have a team behind you as well, helping with these processes and everything in place. So what does that look like?
Yeah, I also have a SaaS. It's called Fit Pro Solution. It's built on a platform called Go High Level. So I
Cool.
have a full tech team that does all the client support built in there. There's a lot of people that are in there. It's 24/7 support. And that's just for the SaaS. And then as far as my personal assistants, I have two that help out with like my tech and my general stuff in there too. And then I also have appointment setters. So I have two different appointment setters that are in the different channels. And then
Cool.
also somebody that runs ads and then somebody for sales.
Nice. So in terms of sales, do you take the calls yourself? Do you hop on any discovery calls and
Yeah, I love jumping on. I actually enjoy that part. I do have someone in sales where if it does get to overflow, then, I can pawn them off to there. But I actually enjoy that part too, because I like to get to know, who's
yeah.
coming in and dive in and give them my personality. Because so many coaches, they outsource that part right away. And then the person comes on the call, they're like, I wanted to speak to this. and, and when it gets too big, obviously that's going to be something I'm going to step away from. But I'm still able to get my feet wet in there, which I like.
Love it. And then now let's talk about the future when things might get a little bit too big. What do the next 12 months look like for you? What is the vision and are there any milestones you're looking to hit?
Yeah, I can't announce what the big announcement is because I have something
That's
in the
okay.
works that I'm building out that is going to be huge. It's going to actually change the game on how people get clients with through the systems, through,
Okay.
I guess I can say with or without social media, I can say.
Okay.
So I will be able to release that in about 2 months. So I'll let you know. Can't release it
Well,
yet.
wait.
So that's the big project that I'm working on. But then I just released my what's called my ELC 3.0, which is the elite level coaches. And that's why I was saying now it has the whole done for you component. Because once I get coaches making six figures, now they're like, hey, I need to get a tech team. I want to get all this stuff. I want to have funnels built. I want to have somebody run my ads. And before I was like out just like pointing people in the right direction and connecting them and doing that for my clients. And now we have a full team inbound where we can actually do all that stuff for them. So that's like the next best part. And I love that part because now they're just like, I can keep working with my clients very long term. So it's great. They love it too.
Yeah. Amazing. And now that there's a couple months away that I have to wait until figure out, I can't ask my next question. But I suppose what has been the biggest challenge in achieving growth at that rate? What, if you can't mention what you can do, was there any struggles that you had to break through to get to that point to have this drop in a couple months that you can share?
I, I've had tons of struggles. Trust me, it's
Yeah.
not always sunshine and rainbows with everything. Any business is going to have struggles. And if anybody says, no, it was just amazing the whole way, like they're lying. One with me is having an ad account shut down and having to revamp and work around that. I had somebody actually hack my ad account. And so that
Oh,
really sucked. And then, yeah, and then the whole situation got really funky. And then I just recently had somebody hack my Facebook account in there too. So you're always going to have those things that happen, but then it's like, hey, how do you respond? How do you get things back up and running? How do you use your other channels? And it makes you think outside the box too. But my business is actually continuing to grow and prosper in there too. And there's obviously other channels besides Facebook where you can do really well with paid marketing. What's
yeah.
that?
If you, no, I was going to say, if you, the fact that you had two of your accounts blocked was, or hacked was pretty wild because
Yeah.
like it's random that one person has it, but then to have two. No, I was going to say, is there any kind of bottlenecks that you really had to break through while you was rising to the top throughout the business at all that you'd be able to share?
A lot of them is like creating your offer. You have to think about how are you going to differentiate yourself because there's
Yeah.
no matter what business, you have to have something where people say, okay, that's different than what I'm seeing with everything else. You got to have a unique mechanism, right? You have to have a different way and an easier way. People always want fast and easy. So how can you make your offer simpler, easier, faster, and have a cool, oh my God, I want that thing. So just going through the different offers was always challenging, just hitting that
Mm.
right price point structure too, because you got to play with the price point, knowing your audience, right? You can't have $100,000 offer for coaches that are brand new to training and they're just looking to get started from a part-time training job, right? You got to make sure that everything goes in there. And then also, do you have downsells? Do you have upsells? Do you have a way to continue to work with people after? Do you have a monthly recurring revenue plan? So once they're done with your 12-week or your 6-month or whatever type of program, like how do you keep them engaged? And then how do you take the clients that you already have and how do you continue to grow financially from them and help them in a deeper level as well? And then also from all the people that come into your world, do you have a lower touch point where if people aren't ready for the big investment, like how can you still get them in your world, give them tremendous value where maybe they can start to get some results on their own and then you can send them into your next step. So it's all putting those different type of things in. I love doing that stuff, but obviously when you're growing a business, there's going to be those times when things don't work and you're trying
Yeah.
this and you're trying, it doesn't work. And then you finally find something that works and then it works for a little while and then something else happens and you're constantly like making those adjustments until you really get something optimized.
Yeah, do you find that the clients you're working with and helping scale, there's a lot of resistance pushing back sometimes, like they're too scared to try things that you're mentioning or implement the sales process that you have to help them with?
It's not so much when they're in the program, it's before they get in the program. Once
Yeah.
they're in, like they see the vision and they see the coaches that are in there crushing it using the exact system. So they're good there. But I think a lot of coaches have mindset blocks that are preventing them. They think that they see getting a coach as a cost as opposed to an investment. Like if
Hmm.
they're stuck at, let's just say 5K per month and they want to get to 20K per month, but then they've been hitting 5K per month every single month, like they're losing and they want to get to 20, then they're losing 15,000 a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
So doesn't it make sense to invest a little bit so you can stop missing out on all those opportunities if there's a proven way to do that? And yes, there's a lot of BS coaches out there that don't fulfill on their promise, but there's also amazing ones. I've
Sure.
invested so much money into my own noggin and learning from other very high level coaches. So I know that like, hey, there's ones out there that I've invested money in and I did not get an ROI. And there's ones that have literally changed the game and helped me really grow my business big time. So it's just getting over that mental block into investing in yourself because I think the best type of investment that you can make is in yourself. So that way you can provide more for everything else that you're doing with your business.
100% align your brain with your body. As you teach fitness, you should encourage your brain to do the same. Go for
Yeah.
it. I do want to pick your brain just to finish it off. We'll move into a bit of a lightning round. So, what would be the best piece of advice you've ever received about scaling a business?
About scaling is follow somebody that has already built out what you're looking to build. That was the biggest thing because, like I was saying, I've hired coaches, but they had no clue into helping a fitness business in there.
Yeah.
Like it may have worked for Amazon products or something like that. It doesn't correlate necessarily to that, right? They may have been very successful in another field, but when you follow, a step, especially when you're looking to get into the scaling phase by somebody who's already built out the steps, that's going to
Hmm.
be the fastest way. Don't think of working with them as a cost. Like I was saying, hey, this is going to be rocket fuel that's going to get you from point A to point B. Instead of taking you 5 years, maybe it takes you 5 months to get to that level really fast.
Awesome. And if you was to go back 16 years to the start of your own journey and leave yourself with one piece of advice to move forward with, what would you tell yourself?
Get help sooner. I tell people this all the time. For the first 5 years, I tried to figure everything out on my own. I was like, you know what? I got this. I crushed it. I was always like one of the top salespeople in every single gym that I worked at, right? And especially as I rose up the ranks, I always did really well. And so I was figuring, you know what? I can do this. And I succeeded in pretty much whatever I set my goals to, whether it's competition, becoming pro, or whatever it is. But hey, the online game, the marketing game, learning that from somebody who's built it out, it just speeds the process. I wasted so much time, effort, money into things that were like either didn't move the needle at all or were in the
Yeah.
wrong step. So I worked on website before I was ready for the other things that really made the most sense for my business. So the number one thing I would go back and do is, hey, get help as soon as possible. So then you can just take off. That way I won't waste 5 years of my time just flopping around.
That's the hardest thing as a founder. It's like coming into the journey and not knowing the business side of actually the business you're trying to run. So you like people do find themselves, as you say, setting up websites before they've even known what the company's called or how what they're going to use the website for. It's finding the right steps moving forward.
Yeah.
And I suppose as a final question, do any founders who are listening and at just the start of their journey, what piece of advice would you leave them?
Yeah, it's gonna
What would you
it's
say?
gonna be not always fun at times. And it's just like getting ready for a bodybuilding show. I don't know if anybody else did bodybuilding who's listening. Like in order to succeed at the top, you have to eat bland, boring food. You have to go to the gym. You have to do cardio that you don't feel like doing. You have to go to the gym and you have to work out 5 days a week or 6 days a week. And
Yeah.
you don't always feel like it. Same thing with your business. Like you're not always going to feel like putting out content. You're not always going to be wanting to add more connections and have more conversations and all those things. You have to. This is the bloodline of your business. And the coaches and founders that I see really succeed are the ones that do the simple steps every single day. And they just know, hey, this is just part of the journey. The ones that I see fall off are the ones that are motivated in the beginning and they do it and then they don't do it for a month and they go back in for 2 weeks and they go off for 2 weeks and like going back and forth and then they wonder why nothing happens. If you think about that too, let's just say you were trying to lose weight and you eat clean and you work out really good for 2 weeks, and then you don't, and then you eat cake all day and ice cream, and then you stop working out, and then you go back and forth, you're never going to get the progress that you want. So you
Yeah.
have to do what I call the dirty reps every single day. So the things that are not always the funnest, just like when you're playing football and you see the football players on Sunday or soccer, whatever it is, right? Every single day they're practicing, and those dirty reps, they don't feel like practicing all the time. There's times when they're tired and they're hungry and they're like, man, I'd much rather just be like resting or chilling. But when they do that at the high level, that's what gets them to the game day. So it's the same thing for your business, doing those daily steps that you know are going to bring the move the needle forward in the business. When you get really good at those and you don't complain and it's like clockwork, that's when you'll succeed.
Love it. Love it. Keep at it, people. You heard it from Tobias himself. And Tobias, thank you so much for joining me and sharing your journey and insight with us today. Where can people reach out to connect with you and maybe work with you if they want it with your service?
Yeah, thank you, Olivia. I appreciate you having me, first of all. On Instagram, you can go to Tobias Young and the number one, Tobias Young one, or you can go to my website, which is tntfitprocoaching.com.
There we go, tntfitprocoaching.com. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale and enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we were able to go from 0 to 30 million in less than 3 years. And until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.